welcome back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to use Blockstore in React Native's new architecture without using any third-party library. So Blockstore is used to enable seamless sign-in in your app for multiple devices. So first of all, Blockstore is only specific for Android, so this tutorial is only for Android. Secondly, Blockstore is used to store small amount of data, so it can store something like sign-in tokens, those kind of stuff. Don't store large amount of data in Blockstore. And thirdly is that the Blockstore data which you store will be stored in Google Play services, so outside your app, and it would be synced to Google Cloud if you have enabled cloud capabilities for Blockstore, which we will do. I will show you that. And yeah, so let's get started. So firstly, for Blockstore, suppose you have one app and you have a sign-in page. Once the user has successfully signed in, you can store the token inside Blockstore, and if tomorrow if the user uninstalls the app and reinstalls it, you can still maintain their token session from Blockstore. Or if he purchases a new device and tries to reinstall your app, then still you can maintain that session as well. So firstly, on the user's part, what he or she will have to do is, firstly they will have to go to this settings of your phone, and they will have to search for Google. And once they do that, they will have to click on backup. So over here, once you click on backup, then it will ask for your Gmail ID, and it will ask you, do you want to turn on backup for all your apps? Then just click yes. Once that is done, so I will just show you guys a demo as well. So first, there are like 6 buttons which I have created. The first one stores data in unencrypted format. Second one stores data in encrypted format. Third reads that unencrypted data. Fourth reads encrypted data. Fifth deletes the unencrypted data, and sixth one deletes all data. And the fifth button, like, you can delete just the encrypted data as well. Okay, so in Blockstore, data is stored in form of key value pairs. So firstly, I will store some unencrypted data, and I will click on read unencrypted data. So here in console you can see some unencrypted data. This is some just random data which I have stored. Now I will click on store encrypted data. Now I will click on read encrypted data. So here in the console again you can see some encrypted data. So you can pass your token. That's what Blockstore is useful for. Don't just store any random thing inside Blockstore. That's not what it is meant for. If you want to store other data, use shared preferences data store, or Roam database for Android. Now I will click on delete unencrypted data. So it is deleted. Now if I try to read unencrypted data again, so nothing really happens, so you don't see a console log. Now if I delete all data, now even if I press unencrypted data or read encrypted data, nothing really happens. So what I will do is, I will again store something unencrypted data. I will store encrypted data. I will try to read it just to make sure the data has been properly stored or not. So here in console you can see, okay, it has been stored. Now what I will do is, I will uninstall the app. App info, and I will reinstall it again. So by the time it is reinstalling, like, I will just tell you guys the setup. So firstly, you will have to enable the new architecture for React Native. So just go to create React Native app. This is Android tutorial only, just so search for new arc enable. It should be present inside android/gradle.properties, and you have to make this as true. Okay, so our app has been installed. Now what I will do is, I will directly read the unencrypted data. So just pay attention to the console over here. So here you can see I'm able to read it. If I will read encrypted data, I'm able to read that as well. So the data is persisted even if your app is uninstalled, and the data is saved on Google server, so we don't have to worry about it. So once you enable the new architecture, go to the main Android folder, go to build.gradle, add this Kotlin version over here, as well as you will have to add Kotlin Gradle version over here. Next you have to go to app, build.gradle, and over here I have set the main HDK version to 23. You can set it to 21 as well, but yeah, I think 21 is too low. Then I have added apply plugin Kotlin Android, as well as I have added this implementation of Kotlin standard lib. In future versions of React Native, I think Kotlin would be pre-configured, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, then you will have to create this. So we will be making use of turbo module. So if you want in-depth detail, you can check out my other videos, or you can refer the documentations. I will quickly go through this. So create this folder called RTN my blog store. Inside that, create package.json, and this I have just copy pasted it from the docs. The only thing which you have changed is this name over here, this name, and this name. Next, I have created a JS folder. Inside that, I have created a TypeScript file. Again, I have copy pasted this from docs, and the only thing that is changed is I have added this method name. So one for saving unencrypted data, reading unencrypted, deleting unencrypted, and deleting all data. So these are methods, as well as change this name over here. Next, inside Android, create build.gradle, and again this has been copied from docs. Only changes this apply plugin Kotlin Android, then I have changed my namespace, as well as added Kotlin standard lib, and I have added this block store dependencies as well. Next, go to src my block store package.kt. First create all these 5 folders, then create my block store package.kt, and here again I have just copy pasted this from docs. Only changes, I have changed this package name, as well as I have changed this module name as well everywhere. Okay, once you are done, just create my block store module.kt, and here firstly we are initializing our client for block store. So in the init method we are initializing it, and we are returning the name over here. Okay, and we have overridden all the methods which we have defined in our TypeScript file. So once you call save unencrypted data, you have to define a key, and same key should be used while reading the data as well. So I have just defined my package name followed by some key name, and first you have to create a request. So you will have to use store bytes data.builder and .set bytes, and this is the string which we will send from React Native side to native side, and that needs to be converted to byte array over here. Then we will set the key, as well as use the build function, and just pass it to the client store bytes method. And here you will get whether it was successful or whether it was failed. You can send this data back to React Native side as well if you want. I will show you how to send data back to React Native side as well. So if you want, you can use it over here as well. Similarly, for saving encrypted data, so here I am using different key. I am using same set bytes and set key. And then first we have to check whether is end-to-end encryption available or not. Now end-to-end encryption is available. This method will be true only when user is using Android 9 or above, and he should have the pattern or the password or pin for his phone as a lock. Okay, so I will show you the documentation. So here you can see the device must be running Android 9 or higher, and the user must have set lock screen. So this is the caveat, unfortunately. But even if encryption is not available, you can store it in unencrypted way. So here you can write it inside the on failure listener, this above code as well. So you don't worry about that. Next, if you want to back it up to cloud, you will have to use something like this. So this will back it up to Google Cloud servers. So backing up to cloud is not related to end-to-end encryption. I'm just showing you both things in one method itself. And once it is stored, I'm saying again we will get a success as well as failure listener. Similarly, for reading data, so here I'm reading this key. So here you have to pass the requested key. You can pass multiple keys as well. And here this we have to do a retrieve request. and then pass it to the client. And once we get on success listener, we will get in a form of a map, and we will just for each for that map, and I'm just sending the data back to React Native side, so the value of the data. So this is how you send data back to React Native side. So you can use something like this if you want to. Similarly, for reading encrypted data, so while reading encrypted data, we don't have to unencrypt it by ourselves. That is already handled by Blockstore. So again, I have defined this key. I have defined a retrieve request, and I'm just calling retrieve bytes, and just we will get a map for doing for each loop over it, and just sending it back to React Native side. For deleting a data, you can just pass key. It can be anything like encrypted or unencrypted, and just again a retrieve request of delete bytes request, and just call delete bytes. And for deleting all data, delete byte, again a delete byte request, set delete all to true, and just call delete byte method from our client. And this is the name for our RTN Blockstore. Next, so once you are done with this, you have to open your terminal, go to the root of your React Native project, then run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to do cd ... It will move you outside your React Native project. Then you will have to run this command. But here my project name is RNApp, which you can see over here. So my project name, so change it to your project name. So RNApp over here, as well as over here. And this is my RTN my Blockstore folder name which we have created. Then you will have to do cd to Android folder, the main Android folder which you have created. Once you do that, then you will have to run this command. Okay, so this will do code generation for Android. Once that is done, you can import your library, something like this. And here I have just created five to six buttons, and I'm just calling all these required methods which we have defined, so nothing new. And I'm sending some data, something like this, so you can send whatever data you want to. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.